Hey guys, and Mrs. Todd Smith 1 and Organic's Best Urban Gardener. You guys asked how I made my yeast bread in my traveling vlogs, and it's actually really easy. When I started making bread, it was kind of intimidating for me, but actually there's a way to do it that is so simple. And yeah, so let's get started in the kitchen. The ingredients you will need are sea salt or your regular table salt. Today I'm using Spelt flour. This one is veganically grown, so that's pretty cool. You can use whole wheat or all-purpose flour, some all-natural dry yeast. This one only contains yeast and not any preservatives. If you can find this, that would be awesome. And finally, some lukewarm water. That's about 110 Fahrenheit or a little lower than that. First, we are going to put the flour in, then the sea salt, then the yeast, mix it up. Now add your lukewarm water, and this will help to activate the yeast. You can see these bubbles start to form. That is a good sign, guys. You want to check for that. That's the yeast being activated. Now, when I started making bread, I had such a hard time with, for the dough to rise, and turns out it was just because the yeast I had weren't alive. So check the expiration date on your package, and you can also extend the shelf life of the yeast just by storing it in the refrigerator or the freezer. And now I'm just going to mix it up. Yep, no kneading, just stir, stir, stir. And I like to slowly add the water in as I stir. You can definitely just dump all the water in and stir it up, but I find that this way it actually makes it a little easier for me to do the stirring. And that's it. You're just going to let the dough rise by covering it up with a towel, and I'm using a damp towel. This helps because I'm in a dry place, and yeast grows best in a humid, warm environment. So you can place it right next to your stove if you happen to be doing some cooking, or leave it in the oven is what I like to do. You can also leave a tray of water underneath it like that, and this helps to create more humidity in there. Now let the dough rest between 1 hour to overnight or until it doubles in size. So you can get the sourdough flavor if you let it sit longer. Check this out, guys. See how much it has grown overnight? So before we start working with the dough, preheat the oven with a pot and lid inside, preferably a cast iron or a clay baking pot. Flour the surface, and then we're gonna dump this dough on top. You can see that the dough is pretty moist. It's got a bunch of holes in it. It's very stringy. If the dough is sticking to your hands too much, that means it's too wet. In that case, you just add a little more flour and pat it gently, pull and stretch on this to form a sheet. And here I'm making a rectangular shape because I'm going to make a long loaf of bread, but you can make it in a circular so that you can do more like a bun. That would be easier if it's your first time making it. And I'm just gently patting it so that I won't lose those air pockets. And now I'm going to fold it up like so. And if you're making a round one, you just fold up all four sides to kind of create like a round square kind of thing. And then just lightly pinch the seam together. And now I'm just going to transfer it onto this towel where I already have some flour, a thin layer of flour on top. And this would make transferring into the oven even easier, and of course to keep it preventing it from sticking to the towel. And then I'm gonna layer just dust a little more flour to completely cover the bread, and this is all just to prevent it from sticking to things. Okie dokie, now that the oven is at 500 Fahrenheit, it is very hot. Yes, very, very hot. Be careful. You can also bake at 475. You don't need it that high. The reason I'm doing it is because I want to create that nice thick crunchy crust. So with the lid on, it's gonna trap all that heat and moisture to give it that look or that taste. Now pop it in with the seam side down. Yep, just like that. If you're looking for a cast iron pot, or here I'm using a clay top, we found this at the thrift store. So if you guys go check out yours, hopefully there's some goodies there for you. And then now we're going to let it bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. 30 minutes it's up, let's have a preview. Now we're going to bake for another 10 to 15 minutes with the lid off, and this would give it that nice color on the crust. Okay, so here's the final product. Yeah, that's one loaf of bread. Crunchy, thick crust. Inside is spongy and moist. Well, if you guys ever tried this recipe out, be sure to let me know, or if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on the social media, which I'll leave a link for you guys below. If you're looking for exotic plants or gifts, be sure to check out wendolyn.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!